Enterprise Mauritius is a collaborative partnership between industry and government that aims to help businesses in Mauritius expand into regional and international markets, at the same time develop their internal capability to meet challenges of international competition. So joining us from Port Louis for a look at trade dimensions in Mauritius, Dev Chamru, CEO at Enterprise Mauritius. Dev, thank you very much for joining us today. So just let's take a step back and talk about the role that Mauritius is playing in terms of, or the role that Enterprise Mauritius is playing in terms of facilitating trade between Africa and Mauritius. Because if you look at the first 2 quarters of this year, Mauritius's trade exports have remained buoyant, with a monthly average export of around 5 billion rupees. To what extent is that trade taking place and increasing between Africa and Mauritius right now?
Okay, thank you. Mauritius was basically an export-oriented country targeting the European market, but now we have diversified our market base and we're targeting more and more to Africa. This year we are exporting to some 41 African countries, an average of plus $500 million of goods and services, and we're importing more or less the same amount. So trade between Mauritius and Africa is now $1.2 billion.
Mm-hmm. So we're looking at 1.2.
And we at Enterprise Mauritius,
yeah.
And we at Enterprise Mauritius, we are trying to expand this market outreach much deeper, and at the same time increasing our export to at least 3-4 new countries every year.
Now, of course, government, we know, is also looking to enhance the trade between Africa and Mauritius right now. They've enabled companies to be labelled as a free port company or free port company status. If they are exporting to the continent, they would get duty-free benefits, and they'd also get quota-free market access to Africa. Is that initiative gaining traction right now? I mean, is that something that will really spur trade?
See, regional integration is now inevitable. Mauritius is deeply engaged in that, and we're having this trade agreement between the COMESA and SADC countries, and we're exporting more and more to these countries. But Mauritius plays a trading hub role in this whole Asia linking to Africa. Mm-hmm. We're not only importing from Asia to export to Africa, but we're now importing from Africa for exporting to the world. So this free port activities in Mauritius is now becoming a very interesting platform for regional trading and over and above what we produce in Mauritius for export. So yes, this preferential trade access with all these countries within the COMESA and SADC region are very important for Mauritius. Yes.
So, of course, as you say, almost a stepping stone between the two parts of the world, the two continents. But let's talk about the specific products that we're seeing flowing into Africa right now. I mean, what are the key products that you're specifically involved in that you see being exported to the continent?
Now, from Mauritius, the main product we're exporting remains textiles and garment. We're having a lot of light engineering products, basically plastics ware, electronic items, a lot of toys, a lot of food processed products from Mauritius now going into Africa. These are our main products that we export in the excess of 153 products to the African countries. So there are a lot of traction now for made in Mauritius product for Africa.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, made in Mauritius, as you say, it's not just about being a stepping stone, it's also about those products which are made in Mauritius. And interesting that you've got that tagline there, made with care. So almost a focus there on quality, the quality of the product. So is that how Mauritius is looking to differentiate itself when it comes to the type of products it's selling to the African continent?
Yeah, I mean, we cannot be as cheap as China or in India. So we'll have to find a niche in Africa where we find our products suitable, both in terms of quality, in terms of price, in terms of delivery, and more importantly, with regards to the suitability of the product. So we add a lot of value in our products, which actually suits the African market. So we are differentiating ourselves from our main competitors, not on price, but basically on quality and on service delivery. And this is why we are organizing in Mauritius this month, from the 22nd to the 24th of August, the second edition of the Mauritius International Trade Expo.
And that, of course, Matex, they're bringing together some buyers and sellers. Let's speak logistically, because that, of course, is an important aspect of trade in Africa. We know it causes a lot of bottlenecks, the lack of logistic and infrastructure, really, to facilitate trade flows. So to what extent are you getting involved in sorting out the trade route to the continent?
Expanding trade with Africa cannot really happen unless we make provisions for the facilities to be available. We are conscious that a lot of our market partners in Africa are landlocked countries. We are conscious that it is not easy to move cargo on Africa. We're working with various hubs in terms of port to ensure that made in Mauritius product or products going through Mauritius actually reach our market audience. And this is why we're having something like 300 buyers coming over to Mauritius for our exhibition for more than 26 countries to look at the various aspects of it. It's not only B2B, but also talking about the institutions and to make sure that the infrastructure is available, the facilities are there, that the non-trade barriers have been removed between trade Mauritius and Africa.
And that, of course, the